Well, hey, how's it going? Right on, right on. Welcome to the Neighborhood Bike Shop. In the Neighborhood Bike Shop, I do a lot of different things. Lately, I've been showing everyone my collection of custom bikes that I've built to make a kind of record of them and also maybe help me sell them, because I am trying to sell them. Anyhow, I had a friend get a hold of me and he said, I have an old mountain bike that I need you to bring back to life, and I'm going on a trip in 5 days. Can you get it done? I said, absolutely, absolutely. And so he brought me over this GT, and I am stoked on it. I actually really love GTs, and they're fun bikes to work on, but this one's got some very interesting situations on it, and it should be a good time. Stick around and check it out. This should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna do what I call a level 2 restoration. Well, now level 2 is my high-end tune. This is just a full-blown restoration. This is where I am completely disassembling the bike and reassembling it, re-greasing everything, retorquing everything, checking everything, and replacing anything that needs to be replaced. It seems like an easy process, but it's actually pretty intricate. There's a lot of things that go on with it. Anyhow, so I'm gonna quit bothering you with my stand-up stuff. I hope you watch the entire series. If you get a chance, click the like button and subscribe too, would really go a long ways. And you know, watch the videos. They're actually pretty fun. All right. So this is my bro's GT, and he wants me to go through and basically restore it completely. So I just kind of want to go over the bike and check out where it's at right now. It is fairly dirty. It has obviously been in storage for a while. It's got a lot of cobwebs and little things and lint and dust and stuff that has gathered on things. But for the most part, this is a really cool bike and looks like it will come back really nicely. There is an interesting cable routing situation that I'm going to need to decipher and see if I can't make it a little bit smoother, but the way it's showing up right now, it's just very inefficient, tangled, and less than optimum, I think I would say. Obviously, the shifter pods are doing the same thing that they always do when these bikes are in this condition. They get all gummed up, and so they need to go through the ultrasonic. And for my complete restoration tune that I do, this entire bike will get taken apart. I mean, all the way down to the bearings in the hubs are coming out and getting re-greased and checked and rebuilt. So the only thing that won't get taken apart is the bottom bracket bearing assembly. That's just one single unit piece. That'll get pulled out though and cleaned. Other than that, just getting ready to take it apart and get it cleaning. I do a lot of different things on this channel, and one of the things I do is I do tune-ups and restorations on bikes. That's what I'm going to be doing today. My friend Paul brought me his vintage 1992 GT Avalanche. It's got the groove tube system in it. I wasn't really very familiar with that until I saw this bike. It's got some really other interesting things on it. But one of the very first things I do on my restorations is I completely disassemble the bike, because there's no other way to clean it down at that level unless you take it all the way apart. So this is pretty much going to be a running shot, and we'll see how this goes. Right on. Okay, so I'm hoping to do this entire disassembly in under a half hour. So ready, set, go. Take the seat off first. Grab my try. I did get permission from the client to cut these grips off. These grips have been on there since this bike was sold. They're the original grips. And so they're like rocks. and are never gonna allow for me to take them off in a traditional way. So I am straight up just cutting them off, but I am cutting them along the ridge because I use stuff like this for weird reuse kind of things. Like I'll use it for padding around something, you know what I mean? If you wrap this around something, like when you're shipping it or when you're carrying it on a bike rack or something like that, these little bits can come in handy at times. Okay, now that I got the grips and the bar ends off and those loosened up, I am gonna get all of my cables disconnected on the bike. That cable's gonna have to be redone. His straddle cable on this front brake is splintered right about here, and there's loose wires that stab me, so I'm gonna have to replace that with one of mine. It makes me glad that I have them. Cap off. Cool. Cobwebs. Told you there was cobwebs. See? Right now I'm taking off the brake calipers, cantilever brake calipers. They're going to go into the ultrasonic. You might say, hey Mark, why aren't you using your favorite T-handle spin wrenches that you love so much in this situation? Well, it's because the T-handle hits on the tire and it won't allow me to spin the wrench, but the ball head on the end of this tool allows me to spin the nut from an angle. I'm also running 3 cameras today, and I'm only playing up to this one really because it'll probably be my main one, but yeah, I'm gonna try to go multi-camera. Progress. Dropped a washer. I know exactly where it went. Into a bucket of my alternate parts. And I know it's in here, but I'm not going to go after it this second. I'll come back for it. It ain't going anywhere. So I always save all of the cable housings that I pull off of the bike because it gives me a pre-measurement of how long the new cables or cable housings need to be when I put them on. And again, this bike had some kind of complex cable routing, especially back here at the seat post and the rear seat stays. The cable routing was really kind of complex. But I take pictures of everything before I do anything to it. So I can go back and I look at it. If I'm confused on what the situation is or if it's doing something weird that I don't know about, that's how I figure it out. I don't ever go blind into it without really thinking about what's happening, yeah, you're gonna get a new cable. Sorry, I'm just noticing that the brake cable that I could undo the bolt and pull out, I can't because this piece is too frayed. So I'll just put a new brake cable in there and hook it through that when the time comes. Oh! Okay, that's all the cable housings. Other than this one cable housing that's back here, I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna go mobile. Okay, right in this area, this is really complex. And to get this piece off, this piece is, oddly enough, a kind of a permanent part of it. Even though I don't believe that for a second, there's gotta be a way to change it out. But to get this off, I have to unscrew it right here. And without seeing what the condition of this bracket is, I don't know whether I wanna try to unscrew it because it may break if I try to open it up. It may have gotten brittle down at this end. So this may be a piece that does not come off of this bike, but I do not quite know yet. And these U-brakes are just wicked cool, if you ask me. But they were kind of famous for not really doing a very good job. You know what would have been nice in this situation? A ratchet. 10, I think that's the 10. Sweet. Go ratchet. Oh, oh wait. What's he talking about? So I hope you guys are having a good day wherever you're at. I know that we've had kind of a snowy day here in Utah. I think we're getting close, man. Okay, I'm going to try to pull this entire assembly off all in one piece. I don't want to separate it out. I want to kind of keep it in position with itself and use itself to keep it organized. All right. Okay. Now we're going to go back over here. Come on. Oh, someone's got the skewer on the wrong side. Just taking the wheels off. When the wheels come off, right? Okay, and before I take off these front pods, I usually just take the cables and put a quick coil on them, even if I'm replacing them completely, just to kind of get them out of the way. It's groppling outside. Boom. And off come the bars. Oh, even bigger. Even bigger yet. On a horse's back. So when I'm undoing a 2-bolt stem, face stem, I always undo the top bolt completely first, because then I don't have to worry about trying to hold in the bottom of the bolt. I can use the top to do that. And then as soon as I have the bar off, the faceplate goes back on. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just a couple threads is good enough. Seat post clamp comes off. Oh, when I saw this, you guys got to check this out. Okay. This headset is a quill stem, but it's a reverse quill stem. So check this out. Look at that. The quill stem end is up here. Isn't that crazy? It's part of the fork. So now I undo this stuff and then just slide the entire thing out with the quill stem reversed up at the top of the fork. I think that is just brilliant. Get the pedals off. Nice. One. And that's how you crack yourself in the knuckles when you're taking off a pedal. That is the exact strategy. Might as well do it now. I gotta break the chain. I didn't really want to break the chain on this bike. It's running a really old chain, but that's all right. We can do it. And these older breakers, they actually built it so that it would know the exact depth to go on these 8-speed pin chains, so that when they take it off, the pin doesn't come completely out right here, which is good because I'm going to be using that pin. Derailleur and chain. And that, to start a small bore. Okay. Crank puller. Oh, I actually need a spanner. Take out the cap. Which should be, it's just a plastic part. It's not like metal or anything, so be careful when you put it on and take it off. That crank cap was being a bit of a jerk. And we have bolts. Grab my one of my favorite tools in the whole shop. This ratcheting 1514. One. Square taper. Grab a Uno crank arm. Now I am going to take all the chain rings off and separate all that stuff out so that I can ultrasonic it all individually. Boom. Gotta get my bottom bracket out. Wait. Oh, that was nice and easy. Actually, I was expecting a fighting match with it. Yeah. See what that does. Oh, nice. I always loosen up both sides first, and then I always take out the left side cup first, because most of the bottom brackets, the cup is separate from the actual bottom bracket on that side. And it's opposite on this one. Good thing it doesn't really matter, but that's funny. I go to make a note of something that's typically typical and boom, bada bing, it's different. Good times. Okay, now all we have left is the headset and this bike's taken apart. Now when I'm taking this stuff apart, I always want to keep all the bits together. There we go. So I used a block of wood to put in between the forks, trying to get it so I can get it on camera, and then wedge that against my body so I could get turning resistance. Otherwise, you would just use the front tire left on and use the tire as the leverage. But we didn't need to do that. The other side. On the other side. Oh, look. Check that out. Double-headed quill stem to threadless. That is really cool. I've never seen this part before. This is a new one for me. Very neat. Wonder how long it's taken me. Oh, I am at 29 minutes and 25 seconds right now. Pull those out. And I could try to race and get it under 30 minutes to take the whole bike completely apart, but I'm not going to. I'd rather take these out carefully than try to yank them out haphazardly. So, for memory's sake, I'm putting everything on kind of where it sort of came from originally, so I can remember the order and the direction of things, especially the bearings in the cage. Even though they will figure themselves out, really. So, there we go. Paul's bike disassembled in under a half hour. The camera fell over. That was awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this version of, or this episode of the Neighborhood Bike Shop, and I hope you click the like button and maybe subscribe and come back and check out more. This is just part one. There's going to be a part two after I've cleaned everything where I reassemble it, and that should be coming quickly. Okay, love you guys. Later.